Hey everyone, Stuart Walter here. My first fan reaction watching my first Belfast Giants game. Here's my thoughts after the first period. I absolutely love watching other webcasts of hockey games in particular. I do some myself. Well, just started doing the full thing, but I've been broadcasting hockey for about 7 years now, so I absolutely love it. You guys do a fantastic job at Giants TV. Bravo. My hat is off to you. I also love the noise from the fans at the rink, specifically in the corner. You guys are allowed the entire period, and I absolutely love it. That's one of the things that I love so much about watching football, is that the fans just bring the noise the entire time, and they're so organized and coherent as a unit. You don't really see that in hockey here in North America, specifically in Canada. I'm also used to watching local teams where there's frankly not a lot of noise throughout the entire game, so that is fantastic. Hats off to you. Again, especially in the corner, you guys are just fantastic. I would love to be at a game some point to experience the atmosphere at the SSE Arena in person. The one thing about the play that I will say, it's going to take you a bit of getting used to the large ice surface for the NHL, for North American hockey. It's shorter in terms that it's not as wide. The extra width, you get that extra nice skating, which I absolutely love, but it's just going to take a little bit of me getting used to that. As I've been saying in my blog, I watched a lot of hockey at the local rink over the winter, and I've watched a lot of hockey over my life. It's all been North American, with the exception of a few Olympic games or the occasional Spengler Cup game. So that is one thing I'm definitely going to have to get used to. The other thing for the webcast is no commercials. I was listening to Door 14. You're mentioning the commercials for CHL games, and I'm used to commercials all the time. It's a great time to go up and get your snacks, go use the bathroom, go do whatever you do, get back for the game. I like it. It just, again, you're going to have to take getting used to. The game happened hours ago, and I'm told it wasn't one for the history books. Not really going to be one. Many people remember, other than the fact that it's Pride, that you can play the Pride night across the league, and this is the Belfast game for that. But I'm loving the hockey on the ice so far. In the color commentary, they were saying they were told before how good it was, but you don't really know until you see it, until you're there. Watching it, I absolutely love it. I know these aren't guys who are going to be playing the NHL tomorrow, but it is fantastic hockey. I'd absolutely love to watch more, and I will watch more shortly when I go to watch this second period. There's nothing so far that I don't love, if I'm being perfectly honest, about the broadcast, the game, the fans, everything. It's just, I'm blown away at how fantastic it is. It's one thing here in Canada, I'm very fortunate, I think I've mentioned this as well, that I am kind of blessed and I'm kind of almost numb to hockey around the world because it's just so prevalent here. The kids, every kid everywhere is always talking about hockey, always want to play hockey. As I said, I'm at the rink almost 12 hours a day, every single day on the weekend, covering it. So you forget that it's not as big around the world, especially in somewhere like the UK, especially somewhere like Northern Ireland. They're talking many times about the one rink and how people are trying, Odyssey and some other places are trying to work to create more. I take it so much for granted that I have a rink right out my window, an outdoor rink. I have the two arenas here within my small city. I got another 6 or 7 outdoor rinks I can go to. I'm just so blown away by the quality coming up from a place that isn't known for hockey. And I'm not trying to have a slight on anybody. It's blown away. And again, it's something you don't realize from where hockey is so prevalent, that a country halfway across the world that you'd think would probably just be watching football / more, as people say here, soccer instead. It blows me away, and it makes me so happy to know the game is such an international game now. And again, it's something to help the game grow. Now, talking a bit more about the play, Kevin Rain is why I started cheering for the team. He's from Dryden, which is about an hour 20, hour 30 down the road from here in Kenora, heading east. He also played for the local team here, the Kenora Thistles, who I was volunteering for this afternoon, which is why I couldn't watch the game live. He was my favorite player going in, and I gotta say, after the first 20 minutes, he's still my favorite player. Just the way he gets back defensively, he doesn't give up, he works his butt off the entire game, and I absolutely love that. My final thought here on the first period happened after the whistle. I absolutely love Giants TV that you put the kids game that was going on in the intermission on the broadcast. Fantastic. I'm going to go watch the second period now. Hopefully it'll be just as good. everyone, so here's my thoughts on the second period from the fans' perspective. That's what I'm trying to do with these videos. I said it before, I say it again, I love the noise coming from all the fans who are in the SSE arena for the game. Fantastic job. That's never going to stop impressing me. It's fantastic. I will say this, it would be nice to see the penalty time on the Giants TV broadcast. I know I'm learning myself how to put together a web broadcast, and it's not easy. It would be nice to see that, especially coming from the team. Just make it a bit easier rather than having to rely on the commentary to tell you how long is left of the penalty. Small little thing, but it is something that would just add a bit more to the broadcast. I mentioned before, a bit of adjustment for me getting used to watching the bigger ice surface. However, with that bigger ice surface comes the opportunity for just some really smooth skating. Saw it from both sides. More so, I think that were recognizable for me for the Giants. Just the smoothness that extra space creates. Oh, it's just so nice to be able to watch. On a bit on the flip side, kind of, is that extra space and extra surface of the ice makes it seem a bit slower. I know that second period was a bit slower, but everyone not being so contained and so condensed, it makes the game seem like it's a bit slower than it actually is. I hope that makes sense. I'm looking as compared to the game here in North America, where because it's smaller, you don't have that skating, you don't have that space, and everything happens bam, bam, bam in a hurry. And it's nice to see that it's maybe just a bit slower, which makes it a bit easier to take in, and again, makes it for some great skating. I mentioned in my blog post earlier today that Ben Lake is someone who I think might become one of my favorite players because of the Sacred Heart University connection. One of their players now is Matt Tugnut, who was on the Junior A team owned by former NHL goalie Ron Tugnut, who paid me to do play-by-play for them. Really was my first paid gig in hockey. Anyways, Lake played there before starting pro hockey. Found out he's a Liverpool fan, which is fantastic. I am a huge Liverpool fan. Yeah, so that's just another reason to start cheering for him. And yes, I am wearing teal. For those of you wondering, this is a football kit of Pacific FC. They're in the Canadian Premier League, is my favorite team, out on the west coast of Canada in Victoria. Definitely check them out if you're looking for some new football to watch. That's Pacific FC. I'm going to get to the third period now. I can't wait to see the win finish. I'll talk to you after the third. So I just finished watching the game. Absolutely fantastic. A few thoughts from the third period. One other thing that's going to take a bit getting used to for me is all the ads on the jerseys. I'm used to watching NHL hockey on TV where there are no ads on the jerseys right now. Minor leagues, there's a few, maybe one, two, if you're including the jersey sponsor on the back. But all the ads all over the place, it's definitely something to get used to. I don't think it necessarily looks bad at all, but it's just something that is going to take a bit of getting used to for my eyes. Something I noticed the Clan coach playing in the game because they needed an extra player. I think that's pretty cool. I've never seen that before. Again, for me, it appears that it's a lot of things from football coming into hockey, especially in the UK, and I think that's fantastic, whether it's the fans with the organization and the cheering and chanting the entire game, or player coaches. It's the best of both worlds, and I absolutely love that. I can't wait to watch the next game, and definitely keep an eye on my blog. I'll be trying to do a post a day, and I hope you've enjoyed listening to me rant about the game for the past few minutes. And please read my blog, subscribe, do whatever you want for it. I hope you're enjoying it. I'll talk to you guys later.